What's up, Falcon fans? This is the recap episode where we discuss what the hell just happened with the Atlanta Falcons. If you guys like this type of content, hit that like button. If you guys hate this type of content, hit that dislike button. We'll hurt your boy's feelings. Well, maybe just a little bit. But if you want to do a huge favor for your boy by hitting that subscribe button, it will help out the empire grow. So on that note, let's talk about the good, the bad, and the Falcons. First off, I can admit I was wrong. I will eat crow. I said the Atlanta Falcons will lose in my preview video. The Falcons will lose to 27-21, but actuality, we won 22-21. So great job on that. I want to talk about the first quarter because I thought that was pretty interesting statistics-wise when it comes to the run game, because Bijan Robinson was carrying the rock. He had 5 carries for 33 total rushing yards at that time and averaging 6.6 per run attempt. I thought that was a really great job. I also want to highlight that the Falcons defense pass coverage did a really great job in holding Jalen Hurts to only 8 attempts to 5 completions for a grand total of 35 total passing yards at that time, with 0 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Pretty good job in the first quarter. And then, of course, in the second quarter, this Falcons defense showed that they can stop the run game, especially when Saquon Barkley was going bananas against us in the first quarter, when he was shredding the Falcons defense by carrying the ball 5 times for 40 total rushing yards at the time and averaging 8.0 per carry. But then in the second quarter, the Eagles only gave him 3 more carries, and for the grand total was 37 because he lost a couple of yardage when the Atlanta Falcons pushed back on him. So great job on that department. The Falcons offensive line did a much better job in not getting bullied around compared to last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Even though the Steelers are still elite defense, but the Eagles are pretty good as well. But this time they found big wide open holes on the outside and sometimes in the inside for Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier, where this time they both equally got distributed the ball with success, and Algier was just a tank bulldozing his way through the middle. I loved it. And of course, Bijan Robinson with the outside zone runs was fantastic in every way as possible. The first half for the Atlanta Falcons offense was really great. 108 total rushing yards and 75 total passing yards. And the scoreboard was 6-7 before the third quarter started. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it kind of caught me off guard that we were competitive coming into the third quarter. And what really makes this game remarkable, because it was like a 6-way game change in all directions, was at the very end of the drive where Kirk Cousins was not pressured when he was doing those 6 drop back plays for the winning go-to-head touchdown drive, and the offensive line did a fantastic job in making sure those Eagles defenders did not even touch him once. And of course, I can't forget about our wide receiving core. They did their thing tonight. Darnell Mooney, caught 3 receptions for 88 total receiving yards and 1 touchdown with that 42 touchdown. And then, of course, Drake London caught 6 receptions for 54. But that last touchdown drive for the touchdown, fantastic against Darius Slay. Man, he did that crispy move real quick. Darius Slay didn't even notice. And then, of course, Ray McLeod did a really good job, set the tone early on in the first quarter or second quarter. I can't quite remember, but you know what? He was the driving force that Kirk Cousins was, looking really early on. Speaking of Kirk Cousins, he did a fantastic job in the second half of the game where he had 16 attempts, did 13 completions for 166 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions, with a grand total of 241 passing yards for Kirk Cousins tonight. And of course, we can't forget about the Atlanta Falcons' total run attack with 152 rushing yards. Fantastic work. And of course, I want to give out 2 major shout outs to Jesse Bates III for that nice dolphin dive ceiling interception against Jalen Hurts, because we all know when he goes outside of the pocket, when he throws the ball, usually a wide receiver is kind of wide open, unfortunately. But that didn't happen this time. And of course, Matthew Judon, who finally got another sack, and that means we have a consistent pass rusher that can give us sacks on every game day without having to fear if anyone can bring down the quarterback in critical moments. So thank God for that. So now let's talk about the bad. In the beginning, I will say Kirk Cousins played like ass. He had 3 attempts, only did one completion for 6 yards of passing, and he didn't look good. I get it, it's early on, it's not how you start, it's how you finish the game, and I totally believe that concept, but I feel like a lot of Falcon fans could be honest with ourselves. It didn't look good because if you're going on Twitter, Kirk Cousins was getting roasted out there in the Twitter space, but we kind of have to remember, he's in a new system, coming back from an injury. It's going to take some time, but, it's just how people feel in hindsight. But that being said, there's something that we have to discuss and really solve this issue, because this has been a huge problem for the Atlanta Falcons for a couple of years now. And that's trying to stop the quarterback run game, because that has been our Achilles heel way too many times, where we should have, stopped them on third down conversions or second down or first downs, where we had an opportunity to get some points on the board, but then it falters because the quarterback just run, and it showed right here in the second quarter. Not once but twice, Jalen Hurts just ran for 14 yards or 20 yards to move the chain. In total, he had 13 carries for 85 and 1 rushing touchdown. And those are plays where that really alters, the game, because if we could have stopped Jalen Hurts from getting that first down the first time, instead of getting a touchdown, it could have been a field goal, and it would have been giving us a better opportunity to feel more relaxed. This happens all the time, way too much, and I've been complaining about this, and it doesn't seem like we've been figuring ways to negate that. And of course, Saquon Barkley, regardless what people might be saying, he had a fantastic night. Now, not compared to week 1 against the Green Bay Packers. We had 24 carries for 109 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns and 1 receiving touchdown. He had 22 carries tonight, 95 rushing yards, 0 touchdowns on the passing and the rushing. So good job. But easily, he could have won this game for the Philadelphia Eagles if he just caught that ball. It was like a 3rd and 3, but instead it slipped off his hand, or wasn't close to his hands. I can't quite remember at the top of my head. But if he converted that first down, we would have lost this game. No question about it on my mind. And of course, Devontae Smith, who we couldn't stop him. Besides that one play in the red zone where Jesse Bates III did a really great job in, tackling him, and it was just, he dropped the ball for that incredible touchdown. If it was, he caught 7 receptions for 76 receiving yards and 1 touchdown, against 3 defenders. That's incredible. We just couldn't stop him, unfortunately. Thank God that A.J. Brown was not there, because that was a game changer. I didn't know A.J. Brown wasn't going to play. I thought he was going to play. But if he was there, I think this would have been a different story. But thank God he wasn't, because we really needed this win, and I don't think we could have handled 2 all-pro wide receivers. And of course, that 4th and 1 play, I wasn't really I believe we should have went for it. I just didn't like how the play call was, especially when C.J. Gardner-Johnson just smacked the crap out of Bijan Robinson for not getting the first down. And I thought that was the game-sealing win for the Eagles, and I'm just shocked that how everything played out, because I literally thought we were going to lose this game for real. And then of course, you have to think about the Eagles. They kind of smacked themselves with 9 critical penalties that really cost them a lot. So I'm not going to be out here being smirk and saying, oh, the Atlanta Falcons whooped that ass. No. We are very lucky and should be very blessed that the Philadelphia Eagles took us for granted. So now let's talk about the Falcons. At the end of the day, it's football. This is why we love football. We think we know better until it actually happens, and then, we do great job on our prediction, or we do a bad job in our prediction. I thought the Steelers, we could beat them, and I was wrong. I thought we were going to lose to the Eagles, and I'm wrong. But this is why we love football. But I never give up on my team. And I'm glad that the Atlanta Falcons have some fighting spirit, and it just kind of gives you a little bit more of a positivity towards the weekend or the weekdays. And I do feel like now we have a little bit more of a fighting chance against dare I say, the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes. I don't know. I feel a little bubbly inside of my little Falcon heart. But look, if the Atlanta Falcons can have no mistakes, and if they move the chain, and if Kirk Cousins play like what Kirk Cousins can become, or is become, or shall become, or whatever become, I think the Atlanta Falcons have a better chance in winning this division. Now, I know the Saints looking good. They've been scoring 40 points per game so far. The Buccaneers, they're looking pretty good. This NFC South division doesn't seem like a really bad division like a lot of people are saying. This might be a tough division to win. But we just have to see. It is football. Football is back. You know, God, this is, I don't know what else to say. It's just like, God, it was a roller coaster. If anyone it lasted this long to the very end of the episode, thank you so much for taking your own personal time and day to watch these Falcon content videos. I love making videos for you guys. So what do Falcons do? Rise up. Until the next episode, show love and peace to the world, and peace.